watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, August 23rd. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. A Pahrump man is arrested for vehicular manslaughter in 2022. Rory Rosell has more on this story.
On Thursday, August 8th of 2024, investigators from the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Traffic Homicide Unit arrested 41-year-old Damian Berry of Pahrump, Nevada, for 2 charges. Those charges include vehicular homicide and reckless driving. Berry was arrested following a warrant for his arrest from a 2022 DUI incident that resulted in a man being pronounced deceased at the scene of a rollover crash. On September 11th, 2022, the Nye County Sheriff's Office responded to a rollover injury crash involving a 1993 classic Chevrolet at the intersection of Bourbon Street and Hall Avenue. Emergency personnel arrived at the scene only to pronounce 53-year-old Michael Kilgore as deceased at the scene. Berry, however, was transported to UMC for non-life-threatening injuries. While at UMC, investigators conducted a follow-up investigation on Berry, only to find out that Berry displayed outward signs of impairment, possibly due to the consumption of alcohol. According to the declaration, an analysis of Berry's blood showed that he had a blood alcohol content of 0.14 and he had marijuana in his system at the time of his arrival to UMC. On July 20th of 2024, an arrest warrant was issued for Berry's arrest through the Pahrump Justice Court. On August 8th, Berry was arrested in Las Vegas and booked into the Clark County Detention Center, where he was later transferred to the Nye County Detention Center on August 15th. He remains in custody and his bail is set for $500,000.
And there is currently an active wildfire near the Nevada National Security Site that's burning more than 9,000 acres. News 25 has more.
A wildland fire sparked on Thursday, August 22nd, and has grown around 9,000 acres at the Nevada National Security Site. As of Friday morning, the fire had burned through 2 containment areas. The smoke was first reported around 3 p.m., prompting response from the site's fire and rescue personnel. The blaze is now being called the Ribbon Fire. Officials say it hasn't been fully contained, though additionally at this time no structures or assets are in danger and no injuries have been reported. And the Nevada National Security Site says they have full accountability of all employees. Further updates on this fire can be found at the Nevada National Security Site's social media pages, which include X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook.
Kamala Harris gives her acceptance speech while at the last day of the National Democratic Convention.
On the final night of the Democratic National Convention, Kamala Harris made history as the first Black woman and person of South Asian descent to accept the Democratic presidential nomination. Her speech highlighted her blue-collar immigrant background and commitment to American values. In addition, Harris countered Republican attacks and positioned herself as a champion for change. However, the convention faced controversy when the Uncommitted National Movement, a group of delegates protesting the Israel-Hamas conflict, was denied a Palestinian-American speaker. This led to a sit-in outside the venue. Harris addressed the Gaza conflict by reaffirming support for Israel while condemning the high civilian toll and calling for a ceasefire. As the convention concluded, Democrats were urged to focus on unity and address key challenges as the election approaches. Harris's remarks aimed to balance her support for Israel with concerns for Palestinian suffering, setting a critical tone as the party prepares for the upcoming election.
More now. U.S. President Donald Trump was also in Las Vegas today to speak about his No Tax on Tips campaign.
Former President Donald Trump chose a local restaurant in Las Vegas as the backdrop for his No Tax on Tips campaign in Las Vegas Friday, August 23rd. Hours before the rally was scheduled to start at 12 p.m., scores of Trump supporters lined the roads outside of the restaurant.
But the United States is home to an estimated 5.5 million workers whose livelihoods depend on tip income. and they work with their hands and their talent, their sweat and their skill, and they are really skilled people, and they're great people. They're people that have been with me always, and I'm with them. I'm doing them a big favor. Nobody ever heard of this concept before, and it's something that makes a lot of sense. As soon as I heard it, I said, let's do it. And then they copied us a couple of months later, but I don't think anybody's buying it. So I just want to end by saying that November 5th is a very important day. I believe it will go down as the most important day in the history of our country. That means you have to vote. It's going to be a big vote. If we win this state, if we win Nevada, we're going to win something that's going to be very, very special. We're going to win the whole thing. If we win Nevada, we're going to win the whole thing. And I don't know how the hell we can lose it. I've never seen such support.
These remarks came a day after Vice President Kamala Harris formally accepted the Democratic Party's nomination for president. Like Trump, Harris also said that she will end federal income tax on tips if she's elected. Trump is scheduled to head to Arizona next week after his Las Vegas appearance for a campaign rally in the Phoenix area.
And we've got you covered with more political news coming up. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Da Shop LV, vape and smoke accessories where you can always find the Aloha spirit. Located at 1555 East Flamingo Road in Las Vegas.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. On this Friday, Robert Kennedy Jr. will officially be on the Nevada general election ballot, and Roy Rossell has more.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will remain on the Nevada ballot despite the speculation that he might end his campaign. According to the Secretary of State's office, the deadline for independent candidates to withdraw was August 20th, which he passed. Although Kennedy Jr.'s campaign filed a request in Pennsylvania court to be removed from the ballot and sought similar action in Arizona, it is not clear if he is officially dropping out of the race. His campaign recently announced that he is endorsing Donald Trump for president and was scheduled to speak in Arizona this afternoon about his path forward. As of now, Kennedy Jr. has not submitted any paperwork to withdraw his candidacy in Nevada.
U.S. President Donald Trump stopped at the Arizona-Mexico border as he hits the campaign trail in full force. News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now brings us this story.
As Team Trump tirelessly campaigns across the nation, making no excuses even after being impeached, arrested, convicted, and shot, the GOP's presidential nominee highlighted the discrepancies going down at our southern border. During 45's address, U.S. President Donald J. Trump pledged to make America safe again while showcasing the Kamala wall to the left and the Trump wall to the right.
Remain in Mexico. How good was that? Everybody remained in Mexico until they were checked out, and either they came in or not. Most of them didn't qualify. Title 42, Safe Third agreements, and 500 miles of border wall that was very, very difficult to even think about getting over, around, or under. The final gaps of the wall were about to be sealed. Then Kamala came in and dismantled every single Trump border policy and halted all wall construction.
Trump's hour-long stop at the Arizona-Mexico border featured families directly impacted by suspected illegal immigrant killers.
And there it sits, but much of it's been sold. This is just a small example of what it was, what it is before they lift it up. So you can see on the ground behind me the sections of wall that taxpayers paid for, a lot of money. But Kamala refused to put up, just refused. She wouldn't do it. Everybody called. I even made some calls. I said, you got to put it up. But she didn't want it open. She wanted a wide open border. What Biden and Kamala have done to the families here with me and so many others, thousands and thousands of others, not only killed, also really badly hurt to a point where they'll never lead a normal life again.
Arizona serves as a crucial battleground state along with Nevada.
Kamala has called for the abolishing of ICE, the closing of every ICE detention facility, and the releasing of some of the most vicious criminals anywhere in the world by doing so. She supports free health care for illegal immigrants and has promised to give illegals mass amnesty and citizenship, which will obliterate Social Security. Oh, Social Security is going to be obliterated by all of these millions of people that she wants to put on. And also Medicare will be obliterated.
Both American and Mexican law enforcement were on guard during the international event.
She also feels extremely strongly about defund the police. She wants to defund the police. And anytime somebody wants to defund the police, you're never going to get them back to being normal. Kamala is always going to have open borders. If Comrade Harris has the chance, she will allow more than 100 million illegal aliens into our country.
Our votes do matter here in the vital Silver Swing State. I'm Maria Centers with News 25 Las Vegas.
Thank you, Maria. Always on the ground, keeping it covered for us. And in world news now, in an unexpected turn of events, Vladimir Putin recently signed a decree offering citizens of neoliberal countries the opportunity to relocate to Russia. News 25 has more on this story.
In a move aimed at bolstering Russia's demographic landscape, President Vladimir Putin signed a decree on Monday that allows foreigners who align with the country's traditional values to apply for residency permits without having to pass a language and history examination. This new initiative, named the Shared Value Visa, is set to take effect on September 1st. The decree comes as part of a broader strategy to attract individuals who are critical of what the Russian government describes as destructive neoliberal ideology prevalent in their home countries. By easing residency requirements, Russia hoped to draw in people who share in cultural and ideological values. The key features of the SVV program include exemption from quota system for temporary residence permits, no requirement to pass Russian language, history, and law tests. Applicants must express a desire to relocate to Russia due to disagreement with their home country's policies that contradict traditional Russian values.
A Utah man is now arrested in Nevada after he kidnaps a mother and her 3 children in St. George, Utah, and drives them over 7 hours from their home.
On Tuesday, August 20th, at approximately 10:55 a.m., the Nevada State Police Dispatch received a call from St. George, Utah Police Department requesting assistance from Nevada Highway Patrol to locate a vehicle which was involved in a kidnapping on August 19th. The vehicle was described as a white GMC Terrain sports utility vehicle with Utah license plates. During the next several hours, law enforcement from multiple agencies across northern Nevada searched for this vehicle as dispatch centers from both Nevada and Utah provided upon updated locations. At approximately 12:28 p.m. on August 20th, a Nevada state trooper observed a vehicle matching the description traveling westbound on Interstate 80 near Winnemucca. The trooper confirmed that the vehicle description and license plates number matched those on the attempt to locate the vehicle from earlier that day. A traffic stop was initiated on East Winnemucca Boulevard near exit 180, and the suspect was taken into custody without incident. Law enforcement from the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division and Investigation Division, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office, and the Winnemucca Police Department assisted the female victim and her 3 children that were inside the vehicle. The investigation into the kidnapping is being investigated and led by St. George, Utah Police Department. News 25 will keep you updated on this developing story.
More local stories coming up. Weather and sports. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's Mikey to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on the Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on Channel 25.8, now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Oh, howdy. You caught me listening to the Ace Country Radio app again. You can too. Download it for free wherever you get your apps. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast. Born on August 19th, friend of the show, Eddie Raven. We'll celebrate him. Also born on August 19th, Leanne Womack. We'll celebrate her. Born on August 20th, Jim Reeves. We'll pay tribute to him. Born on August 21st, Kenny Rogers. We'll pay tribute to him. In the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, my special guest, Billy Thomas from McBride and the Ride, calls the show to talk about their new single, No More Crying, and playing drums for Vince Gill.
And Vince and I started joking around, got to know each other, and the second day it was just the two of us on the session, and we did the same thing. And he said, "Hey, do you play any instruments?" And I said, "Yeah, I actually play drums." And he said, "Would you mind coming over and talking with me and a piano player friend?" And so I went to his house, and he said, "Man, if you can do it, you're hired for a while anyways, you know."
Also in the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, we'll hear a new artist named India Ramey. Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at KPVM.TV, channel 25.8, and on the new Ace Country Radio app.
In sports, well, the Henderson Little Leaguers didn't quite make it all the way in the Little League World Series. Mikey has it all in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators dropped another one last night to the Reno Aces 7-3 rematch this evening at 6:35. The Paseo Verde Little League team has been eliminated from the Little League World Series. Paseo Verde lost to Lake Mary Little League by a score of 6-3. Congratulations on your amazing run. The Las Vegas Aces are in Minnesota this evening. They're taking on the Lynx, and the Las Vegas Raiders welcome the San Francisco 49ers this evening for their final preseason game of the season.
And tonight,
Pahrump Valley Trojans football Friday night lights against Cheyenne High School. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam and a beautiful shot as usual outside the studios here at KPVM. We're at about 92 degrees, so when you wake up tomorrow morning, it could be 30 degrees cooler and windy. We forecasted a bit.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Kaylee Bentler in the News 25 Weather Studios, here with some regional weather to start off with. Up in Fernley, we're at 71, in Fallon, 76, Carson City, 67, Tonopah, 81, Goldfield, more like Coldfield, at 82, Beatty at 91, Amargosa, 95, Las Vegas, 96, and Death Valley, 117. But in the Paradise of Pahrump, we're currently at 92 degrees and sunny. We saw a high of 93. Winds south-southwest 17 miles per hour, humidity 7%. Sun rose this morning at 6:09 and will set in the evening at 7:22. Expect humidity at 19%. Winds southeast 16 miles per hour with a low of 70 and clear skies. As for the rest of the week, we have our last day of those big winds on Saturday at 19 miles per hour, but we do have a cool weekend at 91 degrees both days. And we're seeing sun Monday, Tuesday, but Wednesday, we're seeing more clouds coming in up until Friday, but cooling down to 99 towards the end. And that's your look at the weather. Back to the desk. Here's Chris.
Thank you, Kaylee. That looks terrific. And a programming note, have you seen our advertisers? We need your feedback. Visit our website at www.kpvm.tv and fill out an ad survey to help us entertain you. That'll do it for us here at News 25. For all the staff here, I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great weekend.